I'm Jesse. It's now 9:07 and it's May 1st. I'm an Israelite of the tribe of Judah. Some Israelites say Hebrew Israelite, but I like to just say Israelites because Hebrews aren't just quote unquote black people. The Caucasians are Hebrews. The Arabs are Hebrews. I wanted to read a scripture coming from Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. I read that yesterday in the park, and I thought about it really hard. And I said, who has love for the real Israelite? Not the people in Israel now, because they are Israeli. They are an Israeli people or Israelis. Who really has love for the real quote unquote Jews? Okay. We are an undesirable nation. The world hates us, literally, in every sense. Usually where the poor nations are, that's probably where you'll find Israelites. Israelites who are spiritually Gentiles and haven't awakened to the truth. But we know that Christ, Yeshua, is awakening his people via Hosea. I think it's, let me pull that out real quick. Here we go. Hosea chapter 6, verse 1. Let's pick it up from verse 1. Come, and let us return unto the Lord, for he hath torn, and he will heal us. He hath smitten, and he will bind us up. After 2 days will he revive us, bring to life again. That's revive. And the third day he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight. However, Israel, according to Isaiah, first chapter, we don't know who our God is. We don't know who our power is. The power that was given to us from the Most High God, who is the power of Israel, which entrusted us with his law. We received the oracles. No other nation. Psalms 119, 147. Or, pull that back. I don't like quoting scripture. They're not. Psalms 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Now notice, only Israel has been judged so far. Only we've been punished thus far in the earth. He hath not dealt so with any nation. He hasn't given his statutes to the other nations, even though it's best for them to follow, because those who don't, as mentioned in Isaiah as well, they will perish. Verse 20, he hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Now, when I go to a Christian or anyone else out there and I tell them, hey man, I can't have pork, I can't eat shrimp, crab, or lobster, their response, well, it doesn't matter. You know, just pray over your food. Make sure you cook it thoroughly. You know, and you get rid of all the bacteria. You know, and it's well to eat. Give God thanks. You know, and have your fill. If it doesn't matter, then why are the children of Israel still suffering? Because we follow the Gentiles. We follow a bunch of heathens. And I'm sick of being under heathens. A foolish nation. All of them. And they look at me like I'm some aberration. I'm the weirdo. When I say, hey, I can't eat those things. And then for the so-called Christians, I show in the Bible, Deuteronomy 13 and Leviticus 11, 14, I'm sorry, Deuteronomy 14, I showed them. And I said, well, it says here that you shouldn't have pork, because Koreans love pork. You know what they told me? They gave me their philosophy. Beware, there is a doctrine that they are using, injecting their own ideas, their own doctrine. Doctrine is man's idea. Okay? The Bible has its own doctrine. Doesn't need an interpretation. There's no private interpretation according to Peter's. You know what they told me? Well, the clean and unclean, it means, in the chewing of the cud and the hooves, that's all talking about, like, you know, if you don't regurgitate the word you're reading, meaning that if you don't read it a second time, you won't understand its contents. So then I showed them, watch this. I showed them Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 15. Notwithstanding, thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all thy gates, whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he hath given thee. Now watch this. The unclean and the clean may eat thereof, as of the roebuck and as of the hart. Now I asked the guy, I said, hey, so what's the unclean and the clean? I said, this is not talking about food there. And he said, oh, well, I didn't read that. We're reading it now. So what's the unclean and clean there? May eat thereof as of the roebuck and as of the hart. Well, I need to, sit at home and read it myself. I said, no. Through thy precept one gets understanding. So then I pointed him to Deuteronomy 15 and 22. If you can follow me here, thou shalt eat it within thy gates. The unclean and the clean person shall eat it alike, as the roebuck and as the hart. So then I showed him this here, and I said, oh, so that clean person is talking about the Israelite, and the unclean is talking about the Gentile. And what is the Most High declaring here? That we shall eat it alike as the roebuck, knowing that a roebuck is a clean animal. And as the hart, again, a clean animal. So the Most High is declaring both unclean and clean, Gentile and Jew, to eat animals that are of the clean category. Now he said, well, but how do we know that clean? How do we know that clean is talking about the Israelite? And how do we know that unclean is referring to another nation or to the nations? Because the nations are the Gentiles in that bit. But so then pointed him to Leviticus. Right? Pointed him to Leviticus chapter 20. Verse 24. We're going to read it together. Watch this. If you can follow me. No, we're going to pick it up from 23. And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nation. We shall not walk in the manners of the Gentile, which I cast out before you. For they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. Whatever they committed was not following the law. They didn't get the law anyway. Verse 24. But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that flows with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, which have separated you from other people. So there was a separation. You know, that we can kill that doctrine. Oh, like, you know, we're all from Adam. It doesn't matter. Like, we're all God's people. No, the nations were separated. And the precept, real quick, I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna go back to go to Deuteronomy real quick, so that there's no ambiguity. Deuteronomy 32, verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations of their inheritance, see that now, watch. When he separated the sons of Adam, there you go. He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. You see that? So let's kill that. Oh, we're all from Adam. Back to Leviticus 20. Continuing from verse 25. Now watch, this is the unclean and the clean bit. Here we go. Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean fowls and clean. And ye shall not make your souls abominable by beast or by fowl, or by any manner of living thing that creepeth on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. He separated us from that which is unclean. Verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. Reading that shows us he separated us from the unclean. Not only is he talking about we should put a difference between the unclean animals. But he's put a difference between the clean, which are the Israelites, and the unclean, which are the Gentiles, because they are the other people. Other people encompasses everyone else that's not Israel, who are unclean. Who has love for the real Israelite? The Jew, the Israelites that are suffering in the world, which was confirmed by Moses. That's mentioned in Daniel. You can identify who the Israelites are according to the curses. Who are the people suffering the curses in the world today? Process of elimination. This isn't the Deuteronomy 28 rant. This is, if you're Israel, stop following the nations. If you're a Gentile, come out of the ways of your people. Because if the Most High cursed and punished his people, what do you think he's going to do to a people that doesn't belong to him? Have you thought about that?